Hey baddies, welcome back to my channel. I'm Addie Nailed It, aka Addie the Baddie, and today we're going to be talking about everything you need to start making press-on nails. This is not everything that you would need to start a press-on business. This is just everything that you would need in order to make physical press-ons. If you're interested in learning more about how to start your press-on business, you can grab my ebook and the link will be in the description. Let's take a second to admire the beads. She's serving. Starting off with the basics, the bare minimum of items that you're going to need in order to make your press-ons. You're going to need a surface to work on and somewhere to sit. It could be a folding table, your dining table, it really doesn't matter. You just need a stable, sturdy surface for you to do your work. And a relatively comfortable chair. When you're making press-ons, you may be sitting in the chair for extended periods of time, and sitting in an uncomfortable chair for extended periods of time can lead to back pain. So you just want to pick out a chair that is relatively comfortable for you to sit in. Press-on tips. This probably sounds super obvious. You're gonna need press-on tips in order to make press-on nails. There's a variety of press-on tips out there. You can get them short, medium, long, extra long, triple X. And then there are also different shapes that you can get them in, so you don't have to shape them yourself. They already come in that shape. You can get press-on tips from a magnitude of places, so Amazon, Etsy, those are both great sources. I personally like to get my press-on tips from this shop called The Attitude Shop, and I really like their variety because they have duck nail tips. Going right along with press-on tips, you're gonna need a stand to put those nails on as you're working on them. And again, you can get this on Amazon. Personally, I like to keep a couple on deck because I like to work in batches. So I wouldn't just buy one set. If I was going to buy some press-on stands, I would probably buy at least 2 or 3 sets. To adhere your press-on tips onto your press-on stands, you're gonna need some sort of sticky material. So you can use sticky tabs, sticky tack, you can use double-sided tape. I find that I really like using the double-sided tape more than I like using the putty or the sticky tack, because with the sticky tack, sometimes the nails come off, the stickiness sort of goes away and it gets gummy. I haven't had any problems using double-sided tape, so I would definitely recommend using double-sided tape, but the putty that comes with most nail stands is fine too. Tip cutters or some nail clippers. I would recommend getting both of them because the tip cutters can cut off the ends of your tips, but you can use the nail clippers in order to shape in case you are buying square press-ons and then just shaping them into whatever shape you want. Now, depending on the type of press-ons you're going to be making, you want to get your foundation material. So for example, I specialize in acrylic press-ons. So if I was going to start making press-ons, one of the main things I'm going to need is acrylic powder. If you're only going to be doing gel, if you're not going to be making acrylic press-ons, you would decide, are you going to do hard gel? Are you going to do like gel polish? And you would purchase those materials. Along with the actual powder or gel itself, most of these materials come with some sort of liquid that helps to activate them or helps you to apply them. So for acrylic, you would need monomer. For gel, you would likely need some sort of slip solution, and for gel polish, it's already in a liquid form, so you don't need anything for that. Going hand in hand with the material that you're going to be using, if you're using acrylic, then you're also going to need an acrylic brush. I recommend going with a size 10 if you're a beginner, just so you can get used to working with acrylic. My preference is usually size 12 to 14, so you can experiment with the different sizes and see what size works best for you. You'll also need a dampen dish to put your monomer in. Again, you can get all of these things on Amazon or at your local nail supply store, or you can use a shot glass. So this is a really fun little hack. You don't have to buy a dampen dish. I literally used a shot glass when I started off. I literally still use that shot glass for my monomer. Depending on the type of press-ons you're making, you're probably going to want to buy a couple of gel polishes so that you can do certain designs. And I would recommend just getting the main colors of the rainbow to start with. You don't need to go crazy. I promise you there will come a time when you can get all the different colors. But when you're just starting off, it is going to add up very quickly. So I just recommend sticking with the essentials. So that would be like the colors of the rainbow. You will very likely need some top coat and possibly some base coat. So I would recommend getting those. Personally, I love the top coat from Totally Nail Supplies. You can use my code ADDIE10. The link for the shop is going to be in the description box. Other places that you could get top coat and gel polishes in general would be Amazon. You can find gel polish at your local nail supply store or in Walmart, Family Dollar. Honestly, the dollar store has gel polish sometimes. It might not be that good. But hey, if you're starting and you're on a budget, just try it out. You never know. You'll need an LED or UV lamp in order to cure your gels, or if you're working with hard gel or builder gel as your foundation material, then you'll need an LED or UV lamp in order to cure the material. Again, Amazon babes. Amazon has everything you need. The sun UV lamp lasted me a really long time. I did end up replacing it after having it for about like 2 years, but for it to last 2 years and for me to only have paid like maybe $40, girl, get you the Amazon lamp. Another thing that you'll need is some art utensils. You don't have to go crazy once again, but you will need a couple of liner brushes and some dotting tools in order to create, you know, some designs. Unless you're doing solid plain nails, in that case you won't need art utensils, but for most nail artists, no matter what type of nails that they're doing, they're going to need some sort of art utensil. I started with art utensils from Amazon. They actually came with my practice hand. You can check Etsy, or you can just go to Instagram and type in nail art brush and see what comes up. There are a lot of different nail artists in the industry who sell art brushes, so you can definitely check those out as well. Acetone and alcohol are pretty essential to a nail artist's arsenal. Acetone can help break down the different chemicals that you're working with. So let's say you need to remove something, you can use acetone for that. Alcohol is a great tool for nail techs to use in cleaning, but you can also use it in your nail art depending on the different techniques that you're trying to do. So I would definitely recommend getting some acetone and some alcohol. These you can literally get at your local neighborhood Walmart. My Walmart literally has acetone for like 98 cents. On Amazon, the acetone is like $8 for the same exact amount, the same amount of ounces. 98 cents versus $8. I think I'm going to pay the 98 cents and buy 8 bottles. Nail files, e-files, drill bits, and sanding bands. So these are all essential to the shaping of your product. Now, me personally, I love a good crispy shape. No matter what shape you're doing or what tips you're using, you're probably going to need to do some additional shaping to the nail tips, even if it's just filing off the little plastic piece at the end. If you have seen press-on tips, then you know what I mean. Don't leave that on there. Take that off. That's just how I do it. If you want to do it the way you want to do it, you can. It's just my personal opinion. I hate seeing it on there, okay? So again, these are all things that you can get on Amazon. Specifically for the e-file and the drill bits, I would recommend shopping around and just seeing what the different options are. You do not need to spend $100 on your e-file. Honestly, I had a $40 e-file that I got on Amazon, which again lasted me like 2 years. You don't have to spend $1 trillion on your e-file. Same with the nail files. Depending on what grit you want for your nail files, you can just go on Amazon, type in whatever grit you're looking for, and put it in your cart, babe. Sanding bands, just like regular hand files, you can get on Amazon or at your local nail supply store. We're getting fancy in the nail world with the drill bits. I've seen a lot of new drill bits come out in the past like year. Amazon is a great resource for finding drill bits, but there are a lot of brands on Instagram that also offer drill bits, and then they have the cute pink ones, which is totally not necessary, but I mean, come on, look at me. You think I'm not gonna buy a pink drill bit? I am, and you probably are too. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're in this together. Lint-free wipes. Now, the thing with lint-free wipes is they don't be lint-free. I'm sorry, but they are lying. They're lying real bad, because I wipe the nail, I still see lint. But that doesn't mean that they're still not a good tool to use. You just have to be careful with how you're using them so that you aren't leaving behind any lint when you're cleaning up your nails. Paper towels and dental bibs. So you don't necessarily have to get dental bibs. I like dental bibs in order to keep my table protected so that I'm not getting any harsh chemicals on the table. Dental bibs are waterproof. The top layer absorbs the liquid and the bottom layer prevents the liquid from seeping onto the surface that you're working on. And they come in pink, so you know I have to get them. Last thing on the basics list would be gloves, masks, and cleaning supplies. You need to protect yourself. The things listed before are chemicals, and they can pose a risk to your health if you're not using them properly. It's always best to just protect yourself against these chemicals by wearing gloves while you're using them, by wearing a mask so you're not inhaling anything that you shouldn't be inhaling, and by keeping your workspace clean. A simple Clorox and Lysol could be better than nothing. Contact dermatitis is real, and I gave myself contact dermatitis, and I also gave myself an awful cough because I was not wearing a mask while I was filing and I was breathing in the dust. I got contact dermatitis because I was not protecting my skin and I kept getting monomer on my skin. Wear gloves, wear long sleeves, wear a mask, do whatever you have to do to keep yourself safe. So now we have a couple of extra things on the list. These are, I wouldn't say they're the basics, like you don't absolutely need them in order to make press-on nails. However, they do come in handy and I would definitely recommend getting them after you've gotten everything on the basics list. I would definitely recommend getting some overhead lighting, so like a table lamp or anything that's gonna provide some extra lighting so you can see what you're doing, because different lighting changes how things look, and you may be looking at something thinking, oh wow, this looks really good, and then you put more lighting on it and you're like, oh, it's lumpy and uneven. In order to prevent that feeling of disappointment, I would definitely recommend getting a table lamp. I got mine on Amazon. Another thing I would recommend getting is an apron. It's like a little chef in the kitchen, an apron, because you're a chef of beauty. You're cooking up something delectable for the nails, right? So an apron is just a good way to protect your clothes from all of the nail dust, because I swear the dust gets everywhere. I would recommend getting a dust collector. So like I said, the dust gets everywhere. And although I have a bone to pick with dust collectors because they're kind of in the way, they are a good tool to keep the dust out of your lungs and out of your skin and out of your clothes. I have the Melody Susie dust collector. Do I use it very often? No. But I would recommend that everyone invest in it and just see if you like it, because it's a good tool to have in order to protect yourself. I would also recommend getting a trash can with a lid. Again, this is not essential, but especially if you're going to be making acrylic press-ons and using monomer. Monomer has a strong scent, so when you're throwing out your paper towels or your dental bibs, it really comes in handy to have a garbage can that has a lid over it so you could keep the smells contained. So I hope that this video was helpful for anybody who's looking into starting to make press-on nails. Let me know in the comments below if I missed anything, although I don't think I did. I hope I didn't, child. And again, if you're interested in starting your press-on business, I do have an ebook that can basically guide you into everything that you need to know. And I wish you so much luck on your press-on journey. You are probably gonna have back pain and wrist pain, but it's definitely worth it if this is something that you're genuinely passionate about. I'm super grateful that I have been able to turn making press-ons into my business and my brand, and that I basically get to make pretty nails for a living. And you can do that too, bestie. I believe in you. So let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. Bye, baddies.